What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mike Dolce Show. Today, we're talking about building muscle, building bigger muscles, building the biggest muscles you ever imagined. And Lord knows, if you're like me, all I wanted to do as a young man was get freaking huge, get swole. Man, I wanted to be so big, so nasty, people would freak out when they saw me. Over the years, of course, my goals have changed pretty dramatically, but I did get up to 282 pounds with 20-inch arms. Right now, I'm still packing 18-inch arms. That's pretty spectacular, I think. And what I want to do is I want to teach you best practices in how to actually build muscle regardless of where you're starting. So in this video, I'm going to teach you, number one, the best body part split to follow. Number two, the most ideal rep range to build muscle. And number three, the best exercise selection to maximize muscle growth. Sounds good? Fair? Get ready. Let's go. There are a wide variety of programs out there. In fact, there are likely more programs out there than we can ever discuss in one broadcast. There's most prominently, we have the bro split. What is the bro split? Let me help you understand that. The bro split has been made popular by bodybuilders, professional bodybuilders, and aspiring bodybuilders. These bodybuilders are heavily influenced by drugs. They're taking boatloads of pharmaceuticals, steroids, and growth hormone, and a whole wide variety of other agents that keep coming into that culture. This conversation is not focused on the drug-enhanced athlete. Although drug-enhanced athletes will probably see better muscle growth by following the program I'm about to lay out for you. But those bodybuilders, the higher-level drug-induced bodybuilders, they often follow what is known as the bro split. The bro split is simply training one body part per day, once per week. That's the bro split. They have their chest day, they have their shoulder day, they have their back day, they have their leg day, they have their arm day. That's kind of the program. Sometimes they'll break up, they'll do a hamstring day, a quad day, or do the hamstrings in the morning and quads at night, biceps in the morning, triceps at night. They'll break it up depending, I believe, on how much drugs they're taking. And I'm not mad at that. I don't care. It's just a fact. And most of our friends on the other side of the aisle, they all agree with that. Why is that? Why do they see such dramatic benefit on the bro split? It's because of the growth agents they are ingesting or injecting, I should say, ingesting and injecting. That's fair. But also because of the muscle preservation capacity of those pharmaceuticals. Now, you and I are more focused on how to maximize our body's natural growth mechanisms. And the one we're going to focus on, which is going to lay out the exact split we're talking about, is muscle protein synthesis. We understand, science understands, and this has become a widely accepted and irrefutable concept with regards to building muscle. A muscle stimulated has a 48-hour growth window if stimulated adequately, fed and rested adequately. What does this mean? That means if I train my bicep on a Monday with the proper intensity, which is volume and load, how many sets and reps at relative of 1 rep max, I'll get into that here in a second, and then fed properly, having an ample protein supply to help build this new muscle tissue. And there's a wide variety of offshoots of that conversation. I won't get down that deep because it doesn't really matter for you. You just want to get huge. But what we know is if we train each muscle once every 48 to 72 hours, we will actually maximize the growth potential of that muscle. If we push that off much farther than 96 hours or so, which is 4 days, we actually start to lose that growth capability. Now, if I'm training each body part once every 7 days, I'm missing out on almost double the growth potential of that muscle group. So this is important. Now, this is why my preference is the push-pull-leg system, which is a hybrid of the push-pull system. Now, what's the push-pull system? The push-pull system is a little more old school, not in a bad way, in an excellent way, but with regards to the ability to train each muscle for the aesthetic purpose, the push-pull system was slightly limited. Now, this conversation is about the average dude out there or gal, because ladies, this works equally well for you. This might even work better for ladies because most ladies shy away from resistance training, and I want to see the ladies run towards resistance training. But guys, this is for you. You want to look as strong as you are. Now, there's a lot of guys and gals out there who are really strong, but they just don't look it. They don't look very strong. They don't have that beautiful aesthetic physique. When they peel off their shirt, they don't have those rippling muscles. That would be slightly more akin to a push-pull system. The push-pull legs allows us an extra exercise or two per session to focus on bringing out some more of that muscle density. And I'll explain that when I get to exercise selection. So the push-pull legs. Now, those who've been following this channel for the last few years, you've heard me speak about the multi-joint compound movement being preferential to isolation exercises. In that, you've heard me talk about the full body system. Now, this is the old school. Back in the turn of the 20th century, late 1800s, early 1900s, the pre-steroid era of the 40s and 50s and 60s. The strongest, most sculpted humans on the planet were primarily men. They were primarily training every other day, full body. They train 3 days a week. They do their entire body in one training session. They take a day off. Now, most of these athletes were functional athletes in other sports. They were wrestlers. They were boxers. They were strongmen. They were farm workers. So they were getting in, whether they wanted to or not, intended to or not, they were getting in their GPP, general physical preparedness work, on their off days, which is, we know today, is exceptional with regards to having that athletic fitness concept that we really strive for. But for the context of this video, building bigger muscles, right? We all want to build bigger muscles. We want to look as good as we are capable of functioning. So the strength potential, we want to look at, we want to have that round, shapely, dense, thick muscle that's vascular and grainy and have the striations. We want to like take our shirt off and people be like, damn, like, look at that dude. That's fucking, wow. Like, I want to look like that. That's the way we want to look. And that's okay. Like there's strong people out there who might even look strong, but they don't look visually impressive. The point of this video is to be fucking strong and look physically impressive with your shirt off. So we're going to be building those big, dense, round, shapely, functional muscles. We're going to do that by performing the push-pull leg system. That is simply breaking your muscle groups into primary movement patterns. The upper body pushing patterns, which will primarily train your chest, your deltoids, your triceps. This is the general concept of the pushing, upper body push. The upper body pull will primarily train your back, your lats, your traps, your erectors, and your bicep. And then we have the legs. The legs will primarily be your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes. Now, we will pay attention because there's some carryover here. There's always carryover. I'm going to touch on the exercise selection. Now, when we run a push-pull legs, that is Monday is push, Tuesday is pull, Wednesday is legs, Thursday is push, Friday is pull, Saturday is legs. I like to run the push-pull system consistently without a day off. Without a day off until you need a day off. Okay? You don't always have to take Sunday off. Many of us can train much longer than the 7-day week would dictate. So do not limit your gains and your progress to that 7-day week. Now, as training loads get heavier, you might need to take an extra day off, which would be push-pull legs off, push-pull legs off. That's fine also. This gives you greater variability with regards to your ability to improve volume and training intensity. Especially in the beginning, I like to train consistently without taking a day off. I will constantly rotate my exercise selection that we'll talk about here in a moment in order to keep changing the stimulation, thereby not burning out, providing new stimuli to the central nervous system, not having to bang my head against an increasingly heavier and heavier and heavier barbell. Let's say I'm going back squats on my leg day, barbell back squats. I do 405, 410, 415, 420. Progressive overload is great, but it gets to the point that I cannot add 5 pounds to that movement day in, day out, session in, session out. So I'll do a barbell back squat 1 session, a barbell front squat 1 session, a Bulgarian split squat 1 session, a high box step up 1 session, a low bar safety squat, low box or a low box safety squat 1 session. Now it's a constant variety of exercise selection that my nervous system must adapt to, and I can continuously PR for months into the future, constantly changing exercise selection. I'm going to get to exercise selection at the end of this. Now, we have the push-pull down, and we can run that continuously with breaks as needed. When do you need a break? You know when you need a break. You know when you need a break. Depending on your level of experience will matter. If you need to take 1 day off, take 1 day off. If you're taking 2 days off per week, well, you better be training pretty damn intensely. Like, you better be training pretty damn intensely, because there is no gains if you're not pushing that, if you're not focused on progressive overload. So push, pull, legs, run concurrently. Rep range. This is a big misconception. The ideal rep range to build muscle and build strength is somewhere in the 6 to 12 repetition range. Between 3 to 6 repetitions, we're building almost primarily strength. Between 8 to 12 repetitions, we're building strength, but now we're building more muscle. Okay, so there's actually a blend, because the lower the repetitions and the higher the weight, the greater strength, the greater force we can exert. So the greater strength we will build. There's different types of strength, but again, not necessary for this video. And the higher the rep range, the more energy capacity the muscle needs. And there's a concept of glycogen storage, that we're actually teaching the muscles to hold and store more glycogen, which actually increases the size of the muscle. So sacroplasmic hypertrophy, which is that concept. Myofibrillar hypertrophy is more of the density of the fiber in myofibrillar, and then sacroplasmic is more of the fiber itself holding more volume, more glycogen essentially. We want to hit both. So rep range ideally is between 6 to 12, with the sweet spot being closer to 8. Now, let's talk about this for a second here. So we have the push-pull legs. We're going to be running that. Upper body push muscles, upper body pull muscles, lower body. We're going to be training. Ideally, the first exercise should be the most taxing of all the exercises. That's the bread and butter. This is the key movement of the day. On the push day, let's say, now we're going to blend over into part 3 of this video, which is exercise selection. And keep asking questions, my friends. I will answer your questions here at the end of this video. I'm almost done now. Exercise selection. So exercise selection on upper body push day for me will likely be the standing barbell military press. That's exercise 1. That is going to be a war. A war. I am going to battle that barbell, which is set at approximately shoulder height in the power rack. I'm going to Frankenstein my way forward to grab the bar, dip under the bar, stand up, unrack it, and then I'm ready to go. Feet planted, soft knees, tight core, deep breath, boom, and explode my way up and through, right? Man, that's heavy. Scarily heavy, right? Heavy. Perfect form. Biomechanically correct. That is the heaviest of the exercises. On back day, that might be a bent over pendlay row with a medium grip. I'm not a big fan of heavy wide grip pendlays. I think it's too much erector involvement. I like more of a medium grip, taken down slightly lower to the rib cage, not higher up on the chest. And if we, I digress here, but if I do go wider, we'll go a little lighter on that. We might also start the upper body pull day with a heavy underhand weighted chin. Man, if you've done heavy underhand weighted chins, and when we do underhand chins, by the way, my friends, we don't get our stupid little chins over the barbell and think that's a rep. We pull knuckles to nipples. That's a true rep. And you think about, because right here, my elbows aren't even that low. I have to fully pull my elbows behind my back to properly contract that lat. If you're just getting your stupid little chin kipping above the bar, you're wasting your time. Go do a Zumba class instead, right? So think knuckles to nipples on every chin, or you're doing it wrong. But the point is, that first exercise, we're shooting for about 6 repetitions, right? 6 repetitions on that first exercise is the goal. Second exercise, we're shooting for somewhere between 6 to 8 repetitions. Third exercise, then we're moving up 8 to 10, 10 to 12. As we get deeper into the workout, the load will slightly lighten relative to the scope of the session, because now I'm actually activating more of the energy reserves anyway. And as I'm starting to fatigue, it, from a safety perspective, makes greater sense to start training more biomechanically correct movements with slightly lighter loads that I can fully stretch and squeeze those muscles through full range of motion. This will increase the glycogen storage capacity of those fibers also. So we are able to hit those myofibrillar hypertrophy, or activate that myofibrillar hypertrophy, right? The dense thickness of the fiber, and also the sacroplasmic capabilities of that fiber, the glycogen storage. Because that's why we look at that like 6 to 12 rep range. Last set of the overhead militaries of that first exercise, I might take a 4 rep max. I might hit a PR and hit a 4 rep on that day for sure. For sure, on certain exercises, I will do that. I definitely will do that on a weighted chin with perfect form, for sure. So, push-pull legs, right? Now, I'll do a recap, and I see that there's more people who just joined in. I'm going to answer some questions here. Feel free to ask some questions here on the side. I'm going to answer your questions, but let me do a quick recap for those of you who just jumped in. Building big muscles, right? That's what everybody wants. We want to build big, thick, round, shapely, fucking badass muscles, and we want to be strong. We don't want to just be some soft ass, big for nothing, sitting at the cable curl machine, just pumping 25 reps with 10 pounds. Because that can actually blow some air into some muscles too, and you'll get a little bit of a fit look, but you're going to be weaker than my sister, right? That's not what we're looking for. We want to have some nasty bone-crushing strength, but also when you peel your clothes off, you want to drop jaws. You want people to be like, holy shit. Like, did you see him? Like, what the fuck, man? Dude had muscles everywhere. That's the reaction. If you don't have that reaction, your training is suspect. If you're like, oh, well, you know, I can see some pecs, I can see some abs, I can see it's a little bicep with a little vein. If that's all you have, that's weak sauce, man. I'm telling you, that's weak sauce. You are incomplete. You're incomplete. Look at a gymnast's physique. Look at a wrestler's physique. Like, really, let's talk about the gymnast. Look at a gymnast's body. That is how complete your body should look. And you have the same genetic potential as all of them. You have the same genetic potential. You just don't train like them. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and do some iron crosses and whatnot, but I'm teaching you right now through this video how to train your body properly. And it's the wide variety of these multi-joint compound movements trained in a functional capacity, biomechanically correct, between 6 to 12 repetitions. Now, let me answer some questions here. Boom! Shane, what's up, Shane? Good to see you. Paul Pascal, you legit go live when I'm drinking my pre-workout, about to hit the iron. Boom! Go get it, Paul. Crush that workout, man. We're all cheering for you. Shane, so coach, do the workouts change from 3 weeks to shredded to living lean? Yes, they do. 3 weeks to shredded, you'll notice, is a faster paced workout. We're trying to maintain as much lean, functional, healthy muscle tissue as we can, but still increase the total caloric expenditure of that workout. We're trying to squeeze out a lot more glycogen in the 3 weeks to shredded system. In the living lean program, we're looking to build more muscle tissue. Like, living lean is designed to build more muscle tissue while staying lean and getting leaner. It's a recomposition program. If anybody's interested, click the link below this video. If you want to start our 4-week or 12-week personalized diet and exercise program, click the link below. Use that promo code TRANSFORM. You will save 25% right now. Take advantage of that. That's what Shane's talking about here. Jeff E., arrival date of the Dolce Whey Pro are cross-flow, cold processed, micro-filtered, whey protein isolate, grass-fed, of course. You'll know as soon as I have the delivery date in hand. I don't want to say too soon. COVID has slowed down a lot of the manufacturing and the distribution and supply chains. So that being said, it's a little, it takes a little bit more time, but it is fire, baby. Paul Case's Monday to Sunday makes no difference. That is the truth. Jewy, can't wait to try this. I was looking for a new program to try too. You will love this. I love this. This is the program I'm pushing right now. And I've been on this program for over a year now. Push, pull, legs kills them. The best program I've ever been on, I believe, is the push, pull, legs. Now, they say the best program is the one you're currently not doing, but push, pull, legs allows me such variety. I can change my exercise selection nearly every single workout and get an amazing workout without overreaching, without having a negative impact on my nervous system. I'm managing my sleep. I'm managing my stress. I'm managing my food intake. This all matters. Some days I will literally perform 3 exercises. Some days I will perform 6 exercises, but it's still on the push-pull leg split. I rarely take a full day off. I may take a full day off before leg day. So I might run like a push-pull leg, push-pull leg, push-pull off. Legs, push-pull, legs, push-pull, legs, push-pull off. That's usually I'll take my off day before a leg day. Likely because my lower back is a little fried because I still go pretty dang heavy on a lot of the hinge work, the deadlift and rows and stuff like that. So I like to give sometimes, every so often, a little extra space. James Foodie, can't wait for your cert at the end of the month. Foodie, I am pumped that you're going to be there. Again, if anybody's interested, February 26th, 27th, and 28th, we are hosting our next Dolce Diet Certification and Fitness Conference. Go to DolceDietShop.com right now and reserve your pre-registration spot. I think we have one spot left at this last pre-registration price. If you are interested, go right now. The price will go up. This course will sell out absolutely. We're already tracking to be probably our most attended of these live courses, and we have a cap because I do not want to dilute the ability to know every single person in the room. You will see how hands-on we are during this. The Dolce Diet Certification and Fitness Conference. Become a Dolce Diet certified coach. Let me Zoom live into your home for 3 days, Friday night, Saturday day, and Sunday morning. This will be recorded. You will have access to the entire event after the event, which is an awesome resource for you. We teach you everything you need to know about nutrition and dietetics. And also, we teach you everything you need to know about building your business, building a brand, creating a cash flow positive company in which you can achieve financial independence. Those of you who follow this channel long enough know I do a lot of speaking and a lot of coaching other business owners on becoming a profitable, self-sustaining, cash flow positive business. That is built into this course also. So go to DolceDietShop.com right now if you're interested. We might be out of that pre-registration, so do not, don't hold me to it. You snooze, you lose, my friends. I want you to be there. I want you to be there. Jen Spence, speaking of building muscle, looking for booty gains, hell yeah, and adding in some exercises to my leg day. Should I be doing more reps, lightweight, or less reps, more weight? 6 to 12s, Jen. 6 to 12s. Like, you can do a little, and what I typically do, if you've watched my training day, I got a new training day video coming out soon. I'll spend about 30 minutes on my warm-ups. On leg day and back day, I hit my booty, I hit my glutes for sure. The posterior chain is the athletic epicenter of all humans. Like, guys should be training your booties just as much as all those Insta chicks. Guys should be hitting almost the same exercise. You look at these girls with these big, thick, round booties. Dudes, you need to be doing that too, because that is most likely your weakness. Most likely why people have low back issues, hamstring issues, and knee issues, because their glutes aren't firing properly. To answer your question, Jen, yes, I would stay in the 6 to 12 range after a warm-up. And here's a pro tip. Your warm-ups should be ultra high rep and super concerted and super focused. You should have a booty pump before you start your leg and or back day. You should already have such blood flow and that mind-muscle connection. In there, your booty should be on fire like a pumped ass, pardon my language, to be crass here for a second. That's the way you should feel. Number one, from an energy prevention perspective, I want to get a lot of blood into that region because there's a lot of things going on. We got the low back, we got the sacroiliac joint, the hips, your pelvis, the way it feeds into the hamstrings, the hip flexors, the abductors, the adductors. That is like the intersection of a lot of stuff going on. I want to get a ton of blood into that area, but also I want to connect, make that mind-muscle connection, which then allows my deadlifts and my Bulgarian split squats, my high box step-ups, my hip thrusts, all of that so much more effective because now my glute muscles are so much more engaged. I hope that helps, Jen. If you need more information, please ask. Hi, King. Hey, Mike. With the push-pull leg method, would I fit MMA training within the same day, either as the first or second session? Yes, you can, depending on how much MMA training you're doing. Now, if you are an MMA athlete and you're training for an MMA fight, a push-pull split will likely not be ideal for you because you're already sucking up so much of your recuperation capacity through your MMA training. You're training boxing and kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and wrestling and sparring, likely doing some road work. You're likely doing, that's just 6 different things. Take the road work out. You're doing 5 skill set training sessions, at least twice each. That's damn near 10 training sessions over 7 days. So with our MMA athletes, we look to do more full body on a 3 to 5 day rotation, which is once every 3 days or once every 5 days as it rotates through. One is usually high force production. One is usually more speed and agility work. And they complement each other, but they're also relative to the individual athlete. What do you need specifically? What performance parts are we trying to add between fights? Mike Mumford, my man, Mike Mumford, also going to be attending that Dolce Diet Certification and Fitness Conference, brother. I'm pumped up, Mike. I cannot wait to see you there. You are going to love it. So much information. You're just gonna like just bathe. You're gonna be like bathing in all this information the entire week. It's gonna be awesome. Brad Francis, what's up, Brad? What's up, Dolce? F you, my man. Good to see you. Nick L's in the house. What's up, Coach? Crush and Push Day. We'll watch the playback one-on-one soon. Yes, Nick, I cannot wait, my man. I cannot wait. We're in. Mike Saff, Mike, Coach, I had only lost 1 pound 2 weeks in. Granted, I was on creatine, so definitely holding more water. Suddenly shredded overnight. Crazy how this diet just suddenly offloads pounds. Week 3, let's go. Bro, I cannot wait to see. And that's exactly it. You're taking the creatine. So at first it's a false positive, if you will, right? You're taking creatine and that dramatically increases cell volumization, right? So you kind of get that whole water weight as you're on 3 weeks to shredded. So then you're losing body fat and losing, you should be losing total body water at the same time. So you're increasing muscle volumization while losing body fat and total body water. So you said it's only like a pound or so in the first 2 weeks, where likely it was probably a 10-pound swing that negated itself at first, false positive. And then bang, you can't stop the results as your body kind of balances out. It stabilizes the creatine, right? Because there's a limiting factor. It's however many pounds each one of us puts on. I'll usually put on somewhere between 7 and 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks once I start taking creatine. And then I'll look a little puffy at first. And then as I continue on, I'll actually start leaning out too. And then that kind of puffy, little like watery muscle, just the skin just gets super shrink wrapped. I start to get real vascular. I get that like Branch Warren. I mean, mind you, I don't look like Branch Warren, but that like real like grainy look to the muscle. And then if I'm running something like 3 weeks to shredded, man, my abs just really come in. That's when my abs come in best, actually. The cover of 3 weeks to shredded. If you guys have the book, I was actually taking creatine monohydrate for that while on the program itself. So I just had that photo shoot look. So I'm pumped up for you, Mike Seff. And Mike is following the online version of 3 weeks to shredded. If you guys are interested, there is a link below for you. And Mike, I'm proud of you, man. It was so cool to have that one-on-one with you. And now look, just to see you freaking crushing gains right now. That's awesome. And then, hey, guys, smash the like button, pretty please. Mike is making nothing off this video, which is very true. Last y'all can do for the free info. Man, thank you. Very cool. I appreciate that. Any way that you guys choose to engage with the channel, I certainly appreciate that. If you want to give us a like, you want to subscribe or click the little notification bell, leave a comment below the video. All engagement is certainly appreciated for the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. Headline tips for strength training for the over 40s. Well, that's actually probably a great video to do on a standalone, but here's the secret. Exactly what I just said is exactly what you should be doing. I'm over 40. This is exactly the way I train. This is exactly the way I train. Push, pull, legs. It makes it so easy, and then I can self-regulate my off days. Some days, most of the time, warm-ups, cool-downs not included. Very rarely do I train intensely for more than 45 minutes. Almost never. Most of my workouts, the intensity of my workouts is usually no more than 40 minutes, usually less than 40 minutes. So now, usually I'll do like 10 minutes on the elliptical. I'll do 8 to 12 minutes of a dynamic warm-up. I might do some body part specific or movement pattern specific. If I'm doing some overhead stuff, I'm probably going to warm up my neck and shoulders just a little bit more because I'm in that safety phase of training now. I do not want to get hurt. If I'm doing some lower body stuff, I'm really going to work on my hip mobility, lower back, just make sure things are clicking properly, or not clicking, I should say. So I think over 40, and I actually will do a video on this, over 40, over 50, the warm up and cool down is the most important part. The meat of the training itself is the same. And what I know is, because we're a little older, we have a lot more experience in training. We can apply a hell of a lot more intensity than some of the younger folks. Now, I'll train with some of the, the 20-year-olds, 20s and 30-year-olds. They can't, I don't want it to be fair. It's harder for them to handle the same amount of weights with the same form and finish the set and push through the sticking points like those of us who have 20 or more years of training experience. Like if I train with a young kid, 25-year-old guy, let's say, who's about the same size and same relative strength as I am, I can grind through an extra rep or two, that I can pick up an extra rep or two while having a very similar relative failure point, because they don't have just simply the experience of keeping the weight in groove that we do. And that's just from experience, right? You think about a Tom Brady, let's say, what a great example. Tom Brady is 43 years old. Man, he can stay in the pocket a little bit longer. He can scan the field a little bit longer. He can wait till the very last split second to throw, where some of the younger guys don't quite have that. And that's kind of a loose analogy here. I hope that helps. Manila says, hey, coach, have you seen any of the show SAS Who Dares Wins? I have not, but of course I am familiar with the SAS, and I've worked with some of those specialists, let's say, just a whole other breed. David Murphy, hit that like button. David, I appreciate that. When is your protein isolate coming out? It will be soon, and trust me, you guys will be the first to know. I will let you know as soon as it's ready to roll. Kyle, what's the ideal waist size for males to aim to be? Doesn't matter. I look for ideal body fat percentage, and we want to see you below 12% to be ideal. Now, I want you below 15 for sure, but to be ideal, to look freaking awesome, right around 12% would be great. John Spence, F.U. Dolce, we've been doing the online living lean, and our split is legs off, pull off, legs, push off. We'll get list cardio and 20-minute mornings in on off days, suggestions for additional workouts on the off days. The off days, I like that GPP. I had mentioned it earlier with that turn of the century of strength athletes. The GPP on your off days, I like to go for walks, like in the hikes. I like to go for walks or hikes in the forest or whatnot. We got some, great hills and some mountains around here, even some of the state parks around here. So I'll go for like a 2-hour hike or so. I'll bring my kids and get them out because their little legs just don't stop. Also, I'll go for a sand walk. Now, I'm just giving you some options based upon where you are. So these are some of the local terrains. I like to do my off day work outside. I like to do my GPP stuff outside. Sometimes I'll do some loaded carries if I have to in front of my facility or maybe in my backyard. In my backyard is something I do too. If I don't want to leave the property, I'll just get some kettlebells, 12 to 20 kg kettlebells, and I'll just do some farmer carries. And I'll do just some figure eights. I'll set up 2 of my kids' toys, and I'll just do these figure 8 patterns around my toys for time, or for laps, or just until I just get so freaking nasty fatigued. But again, I really enjoy, although it kind of jacks up my hips sometimes, depending on inflammation, is the beach work, is the sand walking, sand crawling. We got some great sand dunes out there. So that's my suggestion, John, is get out and walk and hike for 90 minutes or more. You want to get out inside and be active because you're already hitting the weights. So I'm not really pushing a lot more weights. You could do some sled pulls, sled drags, sled pushes, some farmer's walks, some of that stuff. But I'm looking for a little more deload if possible. That's why I'm saying 12 to 20 kg. I'm a 600-pound deadlifter, and I'm doing farmer's walks with 12 to 20 kg kettlebells, just to have a little bit of weight in my hand. And that actually helps me focus more on my posture than anything else. So I'm not just kind of slumping. I really have to keep that good posture. John Olson, Coach Mike, down 33 pounds so far in 3 weeks to shredded plus living lean program, 10 weeks in. Good timing on the video so I can start putting on lean muscle for my next round. Let me screenshot this. Bam, my man. John Olson is down 33 pounds following our Living Lean bundle, which is available down below. Click that little link for 3 weeks to shredded. It will take you to the site. You'll see the 12-week bundle. That's exactly what John is following right now. 33 pounds down in 10 weeks. And what do we say? The 12-week program, somewhere around, 40 pounds or so, which would be the average expected weight loss for the individual who has the weight to lose, right? If you're like at 12% body fat, I don't expect you to lose 40 pounds. I expect you to lose 12, 16 pounds. If you have the weight to lose, and I've seen people lose a heck of a lot more than 40 pounds in those 12 weeks. But if you have the weight to lose, I would expect somewhere around 40. John right now is crushing it. John, I'm so happy for you, my man. I'm so proud of you. 33 pounds down. If you guys are interested, click that link below. Plus, you'll get 25% off with that transform code that's waiting for you. That's awesome, John. So cool, bro. Coach, your thoughts on heavy bag rounds for conditioning at the end of strength training sessions? I love it, man. Especially for combat athletes. I love it. I love heavy bag work. I love heavy bag work. I love it, man. I love it. Now, you want to argue if you're a bodybuilder? No, don't do it. If you're a bodybuilder getting ready for the stage, don't do it. Right? Schedule it somewhere else. Don't do it because it's a different sport, right? But if you are looking to just maximize your athletic fitness, if you want to just look like a fucking beast, walking around just jacked and yoked and thick and packed and shredded and vascular and grainy, yeah, hell yeah, do it. Hell yeah, do it. Nate says, how much can you lift and curl and how big are your biceps? My arms measure above 18 inches, like 18 and a quarter. I'll say 18 inches though, most of the time, but 18, they're actually up over 18 and a half this summer when I was going like the end of summer push. You go back in my IG, you'll see I was fucking sexy. End of summer. I actually maintained that all the way through like early December or so. So a little bit over 18 right now. And it's pretty easy, I think, now because I built so much muscle tissue over the last 30 years for me to maintain 18, inch arms. And then how much do you lift and curl? I don't even really pay attention. I can I'll do alternating bicep curls. I've done over 60 pounds before 4 reps. And my buddy Flex Lewis, was like, damn, man, Mr. Olympia, 6-time Mr. Olympia, Flex Lewis was actually impressed with that. So I appreciate that, Flex. But normally, to be fair, I usually keep the dumbbells somewhere between 35 and 40 pounds for sets of 12 to 15. Usually when I train biceps, that's the last exercise of the pull day. And I'm just training to stretch and squeeze. I'm just looking to get good blood in there. I'm looking to stay healthy, stay injury-free. I do a lot of hammer curls also, a lot of reverse bar hammer curls. I don't even pay attention to the weight anymore with curls. I mean, I could just 35, 40 pounds on dumbbells is pretty go-to, like first set 25, 30, next 30, 35, then, 40-ish or so. And I'll kind of, clean up a few sets with that. That's the honest answer. Mike Sepp, exactly. I was loving the puffiness though. I know, bro. I know that pump will keep coming, but now progressive overload, my man. I want you to start tracking the weight. If you're not already, I want you to beat the last weight you did every time you go in, or you set a new benchmark to then beat the next time. What does that mean? That means, let's say you're doing dumbbell incline presses for like 2 weeks in a row. So week 1, you get maybe 80 pounds for 6 reps. Week 2, I want to see you do 80 pounds for 7 reps or 85 pounds for 6 reps. Week 3, I'm probably going to suggest you cycle out into something else. Maybe you're going to change the angle of the bench. Maybe it's going to be modified dips. Maybe it's going to be a floor press instead, where then you have your benchmark workout 1, and then you have your overcompensation phase, which is workout 2. And then I'm going to switch again. Some coaches might have you go through a 3, 4, 5, even 6-week cycle, more of like linear progression, which is fine. I'm not against that. But me personally, I like to have a benchmark session, beat it, move on to something else. Benchmark, move on to something else. But again, I'm very injury averse. I'm trying to stay super healthy, never get injured. It keeps me in the gym longer. This is a concept I'm working on here. And there's a few studies. We're doing a meta-analysis here on individuals who are actually to train longer and more consistently, which means I'm going to get in more healthy training sessions in a 12-month period of time while not pushing through that RPE scale to a 9 or 10. I'm going to actually finish each workout at a 7 or 8 consistently. Over time, who actually has the better total gains? Interesting, huh? Jimmy Who, what's up, Jimmy? Jen Spence, yeah, that totally helps. Thanks for the info. I usually do 8 to 12 reps using the most weight I physically can. Does that sound right? Yes, but Jen, biomechanically correct form. You must perform each movement perfectly where the weight doesn't matter as much. The reps don't matter as much. The way you move the weight matters most. Remember, on glute exercises, the glutes really move the leg only about 10 degrees backwards, right? And the glutes rotate the knees outwards. And if I sit here, if everyone's sitting down right now and you just kind of open your knees wide, you'll actually, watch this. Open and down. That's my glutes open and down. All I'm doing is I'm pushing my knees out, open against like the arms of my chair, out, and then down. You can actually see as my glutes actually contract, open and down. That's not Photoshop or weirdness. That's the way the glutes work. The glutes open the knees. So when we're squatting, when we're training glutes, we always want to think about, and I always think inside that hip, inside the pelvis, I always want to rotate out. When I'm doing reverse hyper, when I'm doing squats, when I'm doing Bulgarians, when I'm doing step-ups, I'm always conscious of the angle my knee is tracking, where my leg actually attaches inside the hip in that little ball, and it just ever so slightly, I'm just rotating outwards, and my whole glute engages. That right there is huge. From there, you found your glute, you can then control the glute and make the glute work. So feel it, always feel it. Always feel it. And then from that point, then you can progressively start to add weight. But I wouldn't be scared, Jen, of getting a little heavier and performing 6-rep sets. Maybe on like exercise 1, like I said, again, push-pull legs works for the ladies just as much or better than the guys. Training slightly heavier, adding an extra 5 to 10% to the barbell will actually get you down into that 6-rep range or so. And then get that 6 reps. Let's say it's 100 pounds for easy math. You can do 100 pounds for 6 perfect reps, probably not 7. Keep going until you get 8 reps. And then it's time to up it again. Keep it up. Raul, FU coach, how would you explain the difference in gains between barbell overhead press and dumbbell overhead press? Explain the difference in gains. All great gains. And that's one of the ways we rotate. Remember, it's like every week or two, we rotate new exercise. I love the dumbbell overhead press. I love the barbell overhead press. I love the kettlebell overhead press. I love the sandbag overhead press. I love the bamboo bar, the wobble bar overhead press, which Samson Fletcher actually had a really good video, really strong kid, by the way, on his Instagram page. If anyone follows Samson Fletcher, man, dude, I've been watching that dude get stronger and stronger and stronger for the last 3 years. CT Fletcher's son. He actually had a great video of him doing that bamboo bar overhead press. We think in terms of movement patterns. And then I like to change the load. I like to change that resistance option a lot. So the difference in gains, well, it's all good gains. All good gains. Ali, I missed it. What's the best program? Push, pull, legs. Go back and just watch the first few minutes of the video. I break it down for you. You already know Mike, I hit a PR and bent over underhand row. Yeah! Mike Seth crushing it. And I'm hitting a PR on hammer rows right now. My man, crushing it. And then last question, it appears Adam Cologne. What's up, Dolce? Getting a hip replacement in a couple of months. Do you think doing your UFC Fit program again would be beneficial after the surgery? In a list. I don't know what that means, but what I will say is you have to listen to your doctor. Every surgery, and I'm a candidate for hip replacement surgery myself a few years from now. We'll see how that goes. They said I was a candidate a few years ago, and I still feel great. I only got like a few millimeters, I think, to play with, by the way. But my buddy Joe McAuliffe, multiple-time world champion right here in New Jersey, had his done last summer, and dude is deadlifting like 500-something pounds already. Eddie Cohn had a double hip replacement, and he's deadlifting freaking like elite level numbers. I know a lot of people who've had those hip replacements seem to just come back really good. But what I will say is take your time. Don't be in a rush. Take your time. Listen to your doctor. Work with a physical therapist who specializes in working with athletes, right? That's important. There's a lot of great physical therapists out there who just get people back to normal life. That's not what we want. We don't want to be normal. I want to be abnormal. I want to always express my athleticism, especially after an injury, right? So that's very important. Carlos Condit blew out his knee, ACL replacement. He found a physical therapist that was amazingly maniacal, beat the hell out of Condit in his training sessions. And look at Condit, got back into the UFC, reclaimed his standing as one of the top welterweights in the world, and is now on I think a 2-fight win streak inside the UFC. This is years after a total ACL replacement. Most people who get a total ACL replacement, they go back to just general light fitness, if that. So it's important to consider your rehab afterwards. Get your doctor's clearance. And then once you know afterwards, don't worry, Adam. The most important thing I will say, your nutrition. A lot of people who go through surgery, they actually sign up to our online platform and follow the nutrition. Number one, so they don't gain weight. They're like, oh man, I'm going to be sedentary for a few weeks, sometimes for a few months. I don't want to gain weight. Follow a structured meal plan, which is important. Number two, our programs provide high net nutrients. And what do you need while you're recovering from injuries and surgeries is you need an influx of high net nutrients to help your body repair properly. It gives you something to mentally focus on. It helps you to allows you to set goals. And then with that, the training is easy. Your body will bounce back easily if you take care of yourself going into it. Always listen to your doctor. If anyone's interested in that program, just click the link below this video right now. It's there for you. Mike Sev, have a good day, my man. Good to see you, Mike. Crush those hammers. Jesse, what's up, Uncle Mike? What's up, Jesse? Good to see you. Nick, my man, need a push day finisher. Did push Dirks, 225, dips, floor presses, Z presses, 4x12. Crush me. What's the last one? I like those actually. So it sounds like you're finishing up on triceps. Those a la Louis Simmons rolling dumbbell tricep extensions. So I'm laying on my back. You can do it on the floor, on a bench, even on an incline. But if you're on a bench or on an incline, I would sit up a little higher so my head slightly hangs off. Dumbbells in hand, right? I got the dumbbells in hand. Let the dumbbells come back down to sit on the front of your delt. Then let them roll back, swing them to this position and press them out. Boom, boom, boom. Those are awesome. Start light. I do first set, I don't know, maybe 20 pounds for 20 reps. Get some blood in there. Make sure it feels good. Why is that? Because remember, your triceps connect in the elbow, but it also connects up here in the shoulder, essentially. Most people, they keep their tricep training here fixed, so they're not getting a good stretch up here in the upper head of the triceps. Once you get that roll, it actually stretches the bottom part of the triceps and the top part here. And then as you roll back, this top part contracts, and at the top, it contracts here at the elbow. Great. I don't know if you heard, I was away from the microphone. That's one of my favorite tricep finishers. And that was a Louis Simmons West Side Barbell favorite exercise for building just big, massive benches, big lockouts. You see those dudes, they have these big, like hams, like country hams hanging off the side of their arms. So try that one, Nick. Let me know. What else? Ambassador, I have no access to weights. I do have a pull-up bar. I'm 6'2", 185, looking to gain strength and size. Should I use 5-gallon water jugs? Yes. Jugs for rows? Yes. And stick to pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and squats? Yes. I mean, man, holding that 5-pound water jug, how many squats can you do? Can you hold it, do walking lunges? Or you got 2 of them at the side. Can you do suitcase lunges? Now you got what, 80 pounds in your hands? Woo! Suitcase squats. Maybe you can stand on a slight platform and you can do squats that way. You can hold those and you can walk up your stairs. Man, so many crazy, horrible, terrible, fun things to do with that. Yeah, I mean, just like holding that offset balance point, and then like doing like overhead presses. How many reps can you actually press overhead holding one of those? Ooh, that's a good one. That actually sounds fun. Hi, King. What exercise muscle group would you say is underutilized in crossovers to MMA? Thanks for the info, Mike. Really appreciate it. What exercise or muscle group would you say is underutilized with crossovers to MMA? Interesting. Hard, because in the circles that I run in, not very many. But I run at a higher level, so everything's well trained. Maybe at the lower level, maybe some overhead work, right? I mean, I think, the delts might not be trained properly. Overhead work, shoulder girdle work. Actually, I would say this, like face pulls. That's it. Face pulls, upper back, retraction. This part, everything is so anterior dominant here, forward, right? It's all forward. Not much of this stuff, not much of like, TIYs. So I'd say retraction. Boom, Nick, get it done, my man. Keep me posted. Alexandru, F-U. Good to see you, Alexandru. Ambassador, thanks, Dolce. You got it. Guys and gals, thank you all for being here. So much fun. I really appreciate you guys being here. Remember, we have that Dolce Diet Certification and Fitness Conference coming up February 26th, 27th, and 28th. This is a complete course in nutrition and dietetics. We teach you everything you need to know at a college level. Although no experience is necessary, we teach you everything you need to know to build your business as a Dolce Diet certified fitness coach. You can be a certified personal trainer. You can be a CSC or NSCA, CSCS. You can be a massage therapist, yoga instructor, or you can be a stay-at-home mom or weekend warrior dad who just wants to know more about health and fitness and nutrition and programming and whatnot. So we teach you everything you need to know to build a healthy nutrition plan, but we also teach you how to run a business, how to maximize your potential. We teach you marketing. We teach you branding. We teach you organization and structure. We teach you sales skills. We teach you how to scale your business for $0. How to do this all cash free and not spend so much money, waste so much money. We teach you the way to bootstrap this for the highest possible net gain and how to help people. This is February 26th, 27th, 28th. Click the link below. Go to dolcedietshop.com. We have, I don't even know how many. We had 4 spots left this morning. Last time I checked, I don't know how many spots are available right now. That pre-registration price. Definitely take a look at that. And then click the link below. Also, the 4-week and 12-week personalized program. Go check that out right now at thedolcediet.com. thedolcediet.com, promo code TRANSFORM, save 25%. That is all there waiting for you. I appreciate it. Evan Price, my man. After you, thanks, Mike. Always love the videos, brother. I appreciate you being here, Evan. Man, means a lot. Every single one here. I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for spending the last hour with me. This was awesome. Push, pull legs, right? 6 to 12 reps, multi-joint compound movements. That's the way to do it. That's the way to get it done. Build big muscles, get huge, and live your best life. I appreciate you guys being here. Until next time, boom.